to this class. So we're going to paint a landscape today. And when you take a look at that reference, we have so many clouds there that are highlighted. And I've been trying to figure out the best way how to capture them. And I do have a course in my online school, maria.tinska.com, about like how to create these type of clouds. The thing is that when you have a smaller sheet of a paper and you're trying to fit all that, and you just end up like trying to work every little cloud. And I think unless we actually paint on a much larger sheet of a watercolor paper, like 16 by 20 or even larger, then we might end up just kind of working these little clouds, and there's no point. So I decided that after all my trials, I did like 3 test pieces. I decided that I'm just gonna kind of make some clouds larger. I'm gonna show you my test pieces so you understand what I mean. Here I used wax stick and I used it on top there. And the thing is that this would work if I was painting this larger and I had more room to play with colors and for that flow of the paint. But I didn't have enough room, and then kind of like I started lifting a little bit these areas to remove a little bit of that paint from those areas where I have the wax stick. This would work again if I had like a more room to place all these clouds, but you get caught in those like, okay, there's a cloud here and here and here when we paint on 9 by 12, and this is my 9 by 12 size. And then earlier, actually before this one, I did this one. This is when I used the pencil so I would know where I'm going to leave like the white spaces. And it's fine. This piece is fine too. I'm not crazy about it because again, like I was thinking like, well, what about the other clouds, right? So instead of like focusing on all these little pieces, the clouds, the highlights, the highlighted clouds, we're just going to pick a couple of them, and I want to kind of combine the 2 paintings into one, if that makes sense. The colors itself are not really that important, but I want you to know that you don't need to use that many colors because all we really need is yellow, blue, and red. And that's how we're going to work those clouds. Only yellow, blue, and red. I do have 2 yellows because I just want to tone it down a little bit, that yellow, whenever I blend it slightly with quinacridone red. Whenever you mix red with yellow, you create a shade of orange, and that's how you kind of can get to that color that you see in the reference, but you want to maybe tweak a little bit the colors. And then we also see a little bit of blue, so I have follow blue red shade. I'm just going to start wetting, and I'm going to wet up to this line. It's kind of like a sketch of these clouds, so only up to that pencil sketch. And then I want this to be nicely wetted so I have enough time to apply colors. The process is actually really fast in a way. We're gonna start with the yellows and some of this quinacridone red, right? What I first need is just some of this yellow, quinacridone red, and there's my yellow ochre. Actually, color is quite dried, so I'm just gonna wipe it. There you go. And I'm gonna grab way more water. There you go. So at first, it feels more like what I have is more like a, I'd say like a half and half like ratio between water and paint. I'm going to start from the left side. Now, what you want to see is actually separation of colors. So you don't want to mix really these colors on the palette. You want these colors to mix on the paper. And I need a little more water actually. There's my blue, right? So there's my blue and some of the quin red. And then from the left side, I wiped my brush on the top because I had a little too much. And then I'm just going to pull this to the left. But I want a little bit red with it, more red. So it's not just the follow blue like. So not just follow blue. And then you can pull it through a little more. So now I can move on to here, right? So with this brush, since I already have this brush, I'm going to grab the same kind of combo, which is give me this long yellow, some of this yellow ochre. Way too much yellow ochre. So I'm kind of traveling around till I feel like it's right. The thing is, I will still use the paint, even from the areas that I'm like leaving around. I'm still going to use it. And why am I going all the way to the bottom? Because I want to keep the bottom wet longer. Might as well just add some colors. Now, clouds. Let's focus on those clouds. So there's my yellow and some of this quin red, right? And now polish these clouds a little more, maybe like yellow here. Yellow and red. I'm still using yellow and red, but sometimes I'll just have a little more of the red or yellow in there. There you go, maybe here. And then we can play now with more of these clouds. So I don't remember again what I have here, but I'm just gonna go for it for the Quin Red, yellow, ochre, and imidazolong yellow. And then for my blue violet. So it's like a gray, actually, shade of gray in a way. This is a little too red, not where I want to be. So I just grabbed a little more of the blue and more of the blue. I'm gonna keep this part a little darker, just like the top. So just choose a couple areas wherever you want to create those shadows. You can also go to the left side, something like that. You can grab more of it. As long as you change the ratio between the colors itself, like that's the goal, because you want to see the separation of colors. I want this to be actually like a cream top, so this is not really diluted with water that much. And then because of that, the paint shouldn't really travel much. And I have some red there, but let's just say it's Quin Red. And then just grabbing this drier paint and applying it towards that land part. Now, when you apply it, you don't need to place it everywhere exactly. It's not important to apply it like everywhere. I kind of got used to painting faster, and you will get used to that too the more you paint, because that just comes with time. So don't worry about it, please. But what helps, especially if you're painting something larger, is actually wetting the backside of the paper. But what I'm going to do is grab a cream top-like ratio. So this is cream, right? And then some of this indigo too. I want some indigo too. And then I'm going to add some darks. So it's kind of like you're going like this, kind of using the side of a brush in a way. And then just the cream top, because you don't want the paint to spread. If it's too thick, maybe you need to go with like a heavy cream, but you should be fine if you just grab that creamy consistency of the paint. So now I'm going to remove washi tape. And here are my other versions. So I have this one with the wax stick, and I believe this was my first one. But my last one is my favorite one because of the clouds, because I focused on less clouds. I made them puffier, and I also added way more shadows. So thank you so much for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions.